Hello everyone, I am very excited to be here with all of you in sharing my work on rewriting your inner scripts. I'm Namita Purohit, I'm a life coach and a facilitator and a healer, and I'm here to share my journey with you. I'm here to share my 4-step process that I have used to rewrite my scripts and heal myself, and I hope that serves you in your life as well, bringing positivity and helping you perform at your 100%. Having said that, April 25th is a very important day for me in my life. 4 years ago, April 25th, 2016, is when I had to make a very hard decision. I was very, very sick, and I had a flight the next day to India from Seattle to Mumbai, and I was wondering if I should really get on that flight. I had double vision, I had slurring in my speech, I had difficulty walking, I had difficulty balancing even while sitting down. When I would lie down, my head would spin, the ceiling would spin. When I would shut my eyes, I would feel like my eyeballs are rotating at a very, very high speed, and I didn't even know what that meant and if anyone else ever experienced that. I had gotten a lot of different tests done. All my blood count, my hormones, my cycle, everything showed up like normal. My ultrasounds, different tests that I got done, everything showed up normal. So I was wondering like what was going on for me. Very, very difficult to comprehend. I was suffering for 6 months, and I really didn't know what to do, and I had booked my ticket thinking I'll go back home and heal myself with my family. But it got so difficult that I wasn't even sure if I could make it one piece in India. Luckily for me, I had the strength to make that decision and board the flight the next day. And I made it in one piece in India. The Korean Airlines staff was very, very helpful, and it was a midweek flight, so there were a lot of empty seats. And on both the legs from Seattle to Seoul and Seoul to Mumbai, I got to lie down. I had enough seats so that I could just lie down and reach home. And once I reached home, I felt very energized, and I spent a year helping myself heal and recover myself. So here I am to share my journey with you, the 4 steps that I took in healing myself and rewriting my inner scripts. A lot of the healing that I went through, I realized I was going through a lot of physical healing, and the feedback I got from the traditional Indian medicine, Ayurveda practitioners, the doctors in India, what they told me is that the disease I was facing was all because of my thoughts. And I really needed to change the quality of my thoughts so that I could change the disease. I could get rid of the disease in my body. Of course, they did a lot of physical work to help me heal because I had really damaged myself. But once they did that work, they said that I would go back to the same situation if I didn't change how I think and what I expected out of my life. So my promise to you in this seminar is to share this 4-step process and serve you in your journey so that you could use this 4-step process for yourself and get better. And if you're already doing well, then you could share this process with many others. So thank you for being here with me, and we start now. Here is my promise to you, my signature 4-step method to help you overcome self-sabotage, to help you overcome anything that is blocking you from living at your 100% potential. There's a lot of inner framework, inner software that we have that blocks us from living at our 100% level. A lot of our abilities lie dormant because of these inner scripts, and I want you to overcome those with this 4-step process. I have used this process with almost all of my clients, and here we have some feedback coming in from different some of my clients here who have benefited from this. Anuprita was a surviving twin, a twin that had survived and had grown and had lived her entire life feeling guilty for surviving, and almost feeling like that she was not worthy of the life that she had received because it was at the cost of her twin. And because of that, she felt that she had to overachieve and prove it to life itself that she was worth it. And she had to overachieve and over-endeavor and be over-ambitious in everything that she did, to the extent that falling asleep was very difficult, sleeping through the night was difficult. She would clench her teeth at night. Her body would be all tense in the night, that she would wake up with a lot of body ache. And every meeting would be difficult. Every meeting where she didn't get good feedback, or every meeting where she got neutral feedback, was difficult. And this was an unconscious script that she was living in her life until we did the work of uncovering that script and discovering that as a surviving twin, this was the guilt is what was driving her in trying to live a life of two people instead of just being herself and doing what she needed to do to be happy. We also use this with Sylvan. We use a lot of different mindful techniques with him. He works for Altix here in Seattle, and those techniques helped him a lot as well. We also use them with Ajay, who works here in Seattle, and it helped him in various different ways. What he really liked was the analysis and the resolution approach to the situation, and it was a complete solution. That's another thing that he felt for himself. So you can read different feedback and recommendations for this on my LinkedIn profile or on my Google account, on Google as well, the reviews on Google as well. Now, we've been using the word inner scripts for a long time. I've been sending out all the publicity, rewrite your inner scripts on every email, every poster, every place that you see. And let's try to define what these inner scripts mean. So what is a script? A script is your software, the software that you follow in life. You are a person who has a software, all the different logic that sits inside, all the different rules that you have for yourself, that you operate on and that you make decisions on. So when you are in a situation, that's the input to the software. Your software kicks in, a lot of if then else loops kick in, a lot of rules kick in, a lot of analysis of consequences and good and bad kicks in, a lot of your values kick in. A lot of that kicks in, that forms your scripts, your inner software, and based on that you make decisions about how you're going to respond to that situation, decisions about your reaction, your emotions, and you face a lot of emotional and behavioral consequences for what you decide. So it's not that the situation determines what the outcome is. For the same situation, different people with different inner scripts will have different outcomes, different reactions to the same situation. So inner scripts are really our software inside of us. And some of these scripts are positive and liberating, while some scripts are limiting and they shut you down. They don't let you perform. They make your living functions dormant. They don't let you perform at your 100% capacity level. Right? So what is a limiting script? It distorts reality. It's totally untrue. It is illogical. It prevents you from reaching your goals, and it leads to unhealthy emotions versus adaptive, and it leads to self-defeating behavior. Now, what does all of this mean is you're going to understand all of that as I take you through my story and apply the 4-step process to the script that I had. And you will see how my script was distorting reality, illogical, preventing me from reaching my goals, unhealthy emotions, and self-defeating behavior. Now, some scripts are positive. They are precursors to survival and enjoyment. And we're not talking about irresponsible hedonism, but we're talking about responsible enjoyment, where we take care of ourselves and we also take care of others. And some of the positive scripts that we can have is, I am lovable, I am worthy, I'm honorable, I can be healthy, I'm confident about going after my dreams, I can choose whom to trust, and I deserve to be happy. Yes, so these are some of the positive scripts that we have that help us. This software helps us have positive outcomes in life, or have a positive reaction to a not so positive situation also in our life, right? So we remain safe and healthy, and we survive, and we be happy when we have these type of scripts. Now, some of the scripts can be limiting scripts. These scripts are detrimental to survival and enjoyment. I mean, I killed my body. I killed all my abilities with my script, right? So I am unlovable. I am permanently damaged. I will never, ever get what I want. That's another thing that will tell you that this is a limiting script, when there's an absolute statement somewhere. Nobody is trustworthy. Another absolute statement. I mean, you are trustworthy. You can trust yourself. You can start with yourself, trusting yourself. I do not deserve happiness. Says who? Says you. No, we all deserve to be happy. We were born and we were happy when we were babies. And we were born to be happy, and we were born to grow and thrive and leave a lasting and a meaningful contribution in service to this world. Yes, so these are some of the positive and the negative scripts that we can have that can really affect our lives in a big way. Now, what was my script that caused me to be so dysfunctional in my life? And I'll explain to you it in layers. I'm not saying that you have to be hard on yourself and blame everything on your inner scripts. but somehow it gives you more sense of control when you realize that it is something to do with your inside rather than the outside, because the outside, even if it is difficult and hard, it is really beyond your control. You can decide to stay or walk away. But it's really not in your control. But what's inside of you is in your control. So I'm not saying you got to be harsh on yourself and say that you are to blame for everything that's happening in your life. No, let's be compassionate. Let's acknowledge what we can work on and grow. So my script was, I would rather stay in the background than let others feel threatened by my ability. So I'm not saying I had a boatload of abilities, but for whatever abilities I had, I felt that I had to stay in the background. And if I shone through, if I shine, then it makes people around me insecure, whether it is my siblings or my cousins or my family or my manager at work or my peers at work. So I don't want people to feel threatened around me. So I'd rather, because if they feel threatened, there will be consequences that I don't want to face. So let me just stay in the background. It's easy to maintain status quo that way. And even if I lose my identity and growth in the process, keeping things in balance is an absolute priority, right? So it's my responsibility to keep those relationships in balance. And if they feel threatened, I will lose those relationships, and I don't want that to happen. So this was my inner script. I would rather stay in the background than let others feel threatened by my ability, even if I lose my identity and growth in the process. Keeping things in balance is an absolute priority. Now, a very important thing to look in anything that you do in your life is to look at the big five. How is this decision? How is this action? How is this script going to affect the big five? And what are the big five? My self-belief and my self-image, my family, my marriage, my kids, my health, my finances and my work, and my spirituality. If there is a decision you're making, or if there is a script that you're following that you want to change, you want to look at how it is affecting all of these different things in your life. These scripts have an unconscious effect on how we live our lives. They impact our decisions and influence what we believe we can achieve. And they affect these five big pillars of our life, the most important ones, right? So my script had made me very underconfident because of this hiding and not shining. I didn't have many achievements to be proud of, many achievements to feel confident about. So I had lost a lot of confidence in myself. I had shut down a lot of my emotions because I felt even expressing them might threaten other people around me. So there was a lot of internal damage that I was doing to myself. My self-image had become of a person who felt I was not worthy, I was not good enough, I didn't deserve the good things, and I didn't deserve to be happy or shine or grow or achieve anything, right? So that was a very broken self-belief. So how did it affect my family life? Yes, I got very bitter about suppressing myself all the time. It was my own decision. Trying to keep the balance, trying to not let people feel threatened. I was suppressing myself. I was suppressing my dreams, crushing myself, pushing myself in the background. And it's not that they wanted it. It's just something I believed in that I wanted to do. It didn't really matter whether they wanted it or not. The point is I believed in suppressing myself. Yes, it affected my health. I mean, you already know a lot about how it affected my health. I don't need to talk about it. It affected my finances and my work. I did have good financial business acumen because I came from a business family. We knew how to invest. We knew how to make money grow. But because I didn't want to, and I thought that if I put all of that good experience to use, there'll be success, and that can threaten people. So let me just stay in the background. It would affect how I would show up in meetings at work. It would affect how I would deal with my one-on-ones with my manager, with my meetings with my peers, all of it. And it affected my spirituality because I believe spirituality is about connecting with ourselves and our source. But here I was so disconnected from my own needs, suppressing them so much. It was impossible for me to connect with my source in that situation. So I had created a pain web out of the big five pillars in my life because of my inner script. And I really should have done something about it to make it a pleasure web. But until I suffered and I completely broke down with my health, I didn't realize that I had to change something inside of myself. So, what is this 4-step process that I used to work on myself? Right. So, I went through a lot of psychotherapy even before I had this full collapse. And I could see that they were telling me that these scripts were not good, and I could make logical sense out of it. That yes, these scripts need to change, and I would really make a good attempt to try to change them. But as time progressed, I realized that even if at my head level I understood how things needed to be and how I needed to be and how I needed to make certain shifts in myself, I realized that my entire system, my body, my mind, my energy, everything had collapsed to such an extent that even if mentally I knew, logically, if I knew I had to make the change, my body didn't, my whole being didn't support it, even if it wanted to. So what I realized in my journey is, while psychotherapy, talk therapy is very good and important, we need to support it with these other 3 steps, which I did. I was fortunate enough to receive that guidance from my mentors and my guides, my spiritual guides as well, and the different healing practitioners that I met, who all pointed me to the inner work that I needed to do. And I'm fortunate that these 4 steps helped me, and they're helping my clients, and they will help you as well. So those 4 steps are, you need to deal with your inner script at a logical level, at a memory level, at an emotional level, and at an energy level. Yes, and now we're going to go through each of these scripts in detail with an example. You also have the document that you could use as we go through this process, and you could use the same process on yourself. The document also has the example that I'm discussing for each of those 4 steps and how to tackle those 4 steps with the example. And you could use that for your own self. Now, at a logical level, you want to analyze if your inner script makes sense. So the discovery process is itself a very long one. But once you've discovered what your inner script is, you need to apply these 3 steps in logic to see how you can defeat that inner script and rewrite a new one. So my script was, I would rather stay in the background than let another person feel threatened. Even if I lose my identity and my growth in the process, keeping things in balance is an absolute high priority item for me. Now, does this script make any logical sense? No, it is absolutely illogical and illusory, and it makes absolutely no sense. And I'll tell you why. Let's look at the first piece. I would rather stay in the background and let another person feel threatened. By me staying in the background is not going to help another person stop feeling threatened. They're going to feel threatened by other people that may come across with good abilities in front of them. And by suppressing myself, I am putting myself in a very bitter emotional state, and I'm going to react very negatively at other times in my life. So it's really not making any sense here. And I can rather do my work with humility without letting my behavior be threatening to other people or letting them feel intimidated by me. I can continue doing my good work with humility. But if another person feels threatened in the process, that is some inner work that they need to do. That's not my part. That's their part. They need to be an adult and they need to do their inner work. And that doesn't mean that I push them and shove them around and make them feel insignificant. No, I can just be myself. And if by my being myself, someone else feels threatened, that is really their part and not mine. I cannot lose my identity and my growth in the process, because the first rule of life is self-preservation. If I lose my identity and my growth, how am I going to be of any value to myself or those people who are connected to me, and even those people who I think feel threatened around me if I shine? Yes. So I cannot lose my identity and my growth in the process. I'm here to be happy. I'm here to survive. I'm here to enjoy in a responsible way. And I'm here to leave a lasting contribution for the benefit of society with humility. So I can't lose my identity. This doesn't make any logical sense. I was born as a happy person and I want to continue being happy, right? Keeping things in balance is higher priority. Well, that points to me feeling that I'm really powerful, that I am the only one on whom everything rests and I'm the one that is the cause of all balance in the world. No, I don't have so much power, and I am not I don't have so much responsibility, neither do I have that much ability. I can only keep myself in balance and not ruffle feathers around me by trying to hurt them in an intentional way, but I would rather be myself and keep myself in balance than take responsibility of keeping things in balance. We are a social cosmos. We are living together. There's a network here, and everyone needs to play their part in keeping things in balance. So this script makes absolutely no sense. But why am I still holding on to this script? Because I probably feel something good here. I am probably gaining something by keeping this belief. And what is it that I'm gaining by keeping this belief? What I'm gaining here is that I'm probably feeling really happy being a martyr. Wow, I sacrificed so much, right? I know some of us, like especially myself, I was happy feeling like, wow, I'm a martyr. I'm the sacrificing woman who has sacrificed so much to keep everyone happy. And wow, I have done such great, deep, spiritual sacrifices in my life. No, I wasn't doing any spiritual sacrifices. Probably in a very a negative way, this was boosting my ego in some way. What else did I gain by keeping this? I thought I kept my relationships. I thought I was getting love from people by them not feeling threatened. That's what I was gaining. But in reality, those relationships would not have been real or worth my time if it required me to keep holding my end of the bargain without the other people holding their end of the bargain in a healthy relationship. Yes, so I thought I was being happy being a martyr and I was gaining the love and having so many relationships by doing that. What do I gain by releasing this belief? I gain a lot. I gain my identity. I self-preserve. I get my health back. I'm able to operate at 100% level of my potential and my abilities and leave something meaningful, a lasting contribution in the life of others. Yes, so this is what I gain by releasing this belief. I get to be myself. I get to live authentically and I get to not be bitter about not living the way I wanted to live. Now, what is a new script I would like to replace this with? Yes, that's important. So once I've realized logically it doesn't make sense, I need to have a new script that I need to be reading every day, I need to be reminding myself every day. And if I fail to practice that new script and if the old script still kicks in into those situations, I need to have hindsight. I need to have some introspection and see how I can continue practice, how I can strengthen my practice of the new script. So what is a new script I want to have? Keeping things in balance in relationships is everyone's responsibility and not mine alone. If my being who I am threatens people around me, then it is not my responsibility. I am not accountable for their feelings. They are. I can continue being myself with humility and continue doing my work with humility and without arrogance. But what other people feel, if I do that, is their part and something that they need to work on and they need to have some inner growth on. I cannot lose my identity and my growth and my self-worth at any cost. I am here to preserve myself, nourish and grow and contribute to the lives of other people. So this is the new script that I want to have. Now, a lot of the psychotherapeutic work I did helped me at the logical level. And I knew this new inner script for many, many years. But I still had a systemic collapse because I wasn't, as I told you, my whole being wasn't supporting the practicing of this new script. So what I realized in the healing that I went through from 2016 onwards, April 26th onwards, is I needed to work on some other pieces as well. And here we come to step 2 of the process. So what is the next step? The next step is step 2. We are here to talk about memory. So when we have a new script ready in our minds, in our bodies, in our language, in our writing, what we want to do is to practice, right? So go back to a past situation when you acted out of your old script. Visualize the entire incident, visualize the consequences, visualize how you felt, visualize what you said, and visualize what the outcome of the whole situation was. Once you're done writing that or visualizing that, you want to repeat that whole visualization while acting from your new script. So I was in a situation where I was with my manager in a skip level meeting with the skip level manager. So I was with my manager and my manager's manager, and we were having a code review or a discussion. I don't clearly remember, it was many years ago, but we were having a discussion on what is the best way to write some new code infrastructure. And we were all brainstorming together like engineers. And my manager gave a suggestion, I gave some suggestions, and but I was hiding, I was holding back because I felt that, oh, how would my manager feel if I was shining through? If my suggestions sounded better to my skip level manager than his. So I kept trying to suppress myself. And at one point, my manager said something, and I got a good idea to add on to what he had already said. And that would have made the product really nice. And that would have also gotten me a lot of kudos and a lot of good appreciation from my manager and my skip level manager, and probably generated a promotion as well. But I just kept quiet, tongue-tied, because I was so scared in that moment, thinking that if I speak up now, my manager may feel threatened because I am adding on to his idea. And that wasn't very healthy. But what I want you to do, and what I did and what my clients do, is to visualize that entire situation with my new script in place. So with my new script that I'm here to do my work, be myself, live authentically with humility. And if that threatens someone else, that is something they need to deal with, and whatever consequences that come from it, I will deal with it. Yes. So then I visualized myself in that meeting, giving that suggestion, that adding on to my manager's already brilliant idea. And as I did that, I was looking at the possible reactions of my skip level manager and my manager. And I really couldn't see those faces, but I could see that it wasn't so very difficult and as damning and as damaging and as, oh my God, I'm going to die if they feel threatened. No, because they didn't feel threatened. Those people didn't feel threatened. They were actually happy to hear that suggestion. So when we keep reworking things in our memory like that, we also erase the trauma that we would have gone through in those situations, the difficult and negative emotions that got set in our body because of those situations where we acted out of our old script. And it helps us have new memory and new confidence. So this memory exercise is very important. Now, one thing that when you need to do as you do this memory exercise is to also connect with how you were feeling in that moment. So what were the emotions how did acting out of that new script feel for you? Was it easy for you to do that, or did it take a lot of courage for you to say what you had to say or do what you had to do in acting out of the new script? What were some of the emotions that came up, and what are those emotions pointing to in your life? For me, in my situation, I experienced a lot of fear as I was trying to speak up in that situation, act from my new script. And what do I think those emotions were pointing to? I realized that I was really scared of the consequences of me living authentically with all my abilities in full flow and display. I was worried about how the other person would react and what would happen to that relationship with my manager or with my skip level manager. But I also realize in hindsight now, after doing that memory visualization exercise, that as long as I'm not acting out of the norms of a normal relationship, I am not responsible for the inner work the other person needs to do. If they act it out, I can deal with the consequences because I am an adult. I can deal with it. I'm not a child who's helpless, dependent. I'm an adult and I can deal with the consequences. Yes? As we connect with how we are feeling and what those emotions are and what they are pointing to and what kind of further inner work that we need to do, we also need to connect with where in the body are we feeling those emotions. There's a lot of research work that has been done in this space, a lot of books on the subject that you could read. One of them that I like is that The Body Bears the Burden by Robert Sarr. And the second one is Peter Levine's book on Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma. And since I come from this whole space of Eastern science and wisdom, we also understand that there are different energy centers in our body and that hold on to certain beliefs. Like the lower energy centers below your diaphragm are more connected with how you operate in the material world, and the ones above your diaphragm is how you deal with spirituality and love and compassion and friendship. And a lot of your scripts around these different themes sit in different energy centers. Your theme of security, your theme of self-expression, your theme of asserting your identity all sits in below the diaphragm. And the knots of it also, the negative scripts also, and the positive scripts of love, compassion, spirituality, connection, spiritual expression, all of that sits in the energy centers above your diaphragm. Energy centers are also known as chakras. Apart from that, these emotions and these beliefs also sit in different parts of your body at a cellular level as well, and in different energetic pathways that connect these different energetic centers. So it's important to know, where are you feeling that emotion in your body? Where in the body? Yes. So for me, I was feeling it in my abdomen. My stomach was in like totally overturned and twisting and churning really badly. I would feel choking in my throat and difficulty breathing. So my nasal pathways as well. And as I sat down in that visualization, and you don't have to do all of this together. You can do it over different, at different times, or if you want to do it all together, do it together. Do whatever works for you. As you sit down and you visualize where in the body you're feeling all of those emotions, what you want to do is breathe it out. Yes. So these emotions and these thoughts, these beliefs actually sit as energies. So these are actually energy forms that sit in your body. And no matter, even if you make a logical decision to change how you're thinking, your energy has still not shifted. And because of that, you keep repeating the old patterns. So what you want to do is to shift your energy, release these thought energies, these script energies, these belief energies, and these emotional energies from your body. Yes, feelings and thoughts sit as energy in your body. Your scripts sit as energy in your body. And that was the difficulty I was facing, that even if I logically wanted to change, my internal system was not cooperating. So that needs healing as well. And the best way to do that is through your breathing, your breath work. Now, where in the body are you feeling it? And you want to breathe it out. So you breathe in deeply, you breathe out deeply, and you do that for over 10 times. And gradually you start focusing the incoming breath, and you're sending that breath energy to that region where you felt that emotion and that belief and that script. And as you breathe in the good, clear energy to that center, that area, that region, wherever you feel it in your body. And as you breathe out the dirty energy from there. So the good energy is dissolving that thought energy that is unhelpful to you, that script over there, that emotion that is unhelpful for you, that has been trapped there for a very long time. The good energy is the good breath, the fresh breath is dissolving all of that, and it is coming out through your outgoing breath. And some of us need to do it with a lot of force because there's a lot stuck over there. But for some of us, light breathing works. So you breathe in deeply, send the energy to that region, let it dissolve the dirty and diseased energy there, and you breathe it out. And you can breathe it out with great force as well. So this breathing helps you breathe it out. And when you breathe it out, you actually feel a great shift happening inside of you when you do it in a focused way. And I've seen a lot of my clients experience major shifts in those sessions when I do that breathing release with them, energy release from their body with them. And as soon as you're done with your energy release, you try to read your new script again. So it's in a way you're trying to send that new script energy, setting an energy pattern in your body of that new script. So this really helps. It's a very, very powerful process of dealing with it logically, dealing with the memory of it, connecting with the emotion of it, and releasing the energy that you need to release. And when you do these 4 steps, very simple steps, no rocket science, you can release scripts that have been sitting inside of you for years and years and years together. I have seen 70-year-olds, willing 70-year-olds release the scripts that they want to release. And whoever can do this inner work and is able to do this inner work and wants to do this inner work can achieve this by this very simple 4-step process. But sometimes as we try to do this inner work on our own, it can get a little difficult because inner work is hard. Revisiting those memories can be hard. Staying committed to it is hard, and also we need the support of others. It's so hard we're usually alone most of the time, and to sit down with yourself and go deep within can be a very, very disturbing exercise for some of us. And for that, what I have done is I've converted this inner step, this rewriting of your inner scripts process into a course, a 7-week course that you could use. That will send out an email to you every week with the focus of the week and what you need to do and how you need to do the inner work that week to help you get to releasing your scripts. And over 7 weeks, as you do this process with me, you have my support. You have me being with you in that process through this online course and my videos that come to you every week. You have assignments, you have reflection exercises, you have introspection exercises that are due every week, and so that keeps you committed and focused. And I also build a community around all the people who are doing this course together so that we can support each other and encourage each other by the work that we're doing on ourselves and help others as well. So I know this inner work can be difficult. Some of you can do it on your own, but some of you may need, want to go through a proper structured program. Of course, what I've shared with you in this webinar is a complete process. However, there is more deeper stuff in the course. It's, because of lack of time and I can't really make a really long webinar here. I have to keep concise things so that the message is clear and something that you can apply itself like right now. But there is a lot more deeper work that I have in that online course with an entire life reflection, death meditation, a lot of guided meditations, a lot of guided healing, and a lot more understanding of the different scripts that sit in different parts of the body, a lot more understanding of the different scripts that we carry that affect our work, that affect our family life, that, our relationship to money, our relationship with people, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our spirituality. I have a lot of lists of different scripts that I share in that program, and I would welcome you all to have a look at this program. So thank you very much for being with me. I hope you found these 4 steps helpful. So it's logical release, memory release, emotional release, and energy release. You have the download of the worksheet that you could use. And you also have the links for the online course in case you want to sign up. If I were you, I would sign up because I know how hard it is to do all of this on your own. The prices are really good, and this course comes from a lot of experience of using this on myself and all the different clients that I have served. And I so wish that you are able to take advantage. Your signing up for those online courses also supports my work and helps me do create many more such programs that can help other people. One-on-one coaching can get expensive for people, and if my goal is that I create many such programs where people can do a lot of self-coaching by signing up on self-paced courses like that. So I look forward to your support, I look forward to your participation, and I look forward to staying connected with you. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.